Hello students, let us start the topic of sampling distribution of sample mean. Okay, so first of all let us see what is the meaning of sampling distribution. The distribution of the values of the sample mean, that is x bar, in repeated samples is called the sampling distribution of sample mean. Okay, so let us try to understand this with the help of an example. Suppose in a town, the birth weight are recorded for all the babies. The mean birth weight is 2800 grams. So, if we collect 1000 random samples of 6 babies at a time, how do you think sample means will behave? So, here the sample size is 6 baby and we are collecting the 1000 samples, each sample having 6 babies, and we are plotting the distribution curve for 1000 samples. Okay, now in another case we are taking the sample size of 18 babies and we are taking 1000 samples, and then we are plotting the distribution curve, and in a third case our sample size is 31 babies. Okay, and the samples collected are 1000. Okay, so here also we are plotting the sample distribution. Now let's see what we will get when we make the sample distribution for each of these cases. So here for the first case, the sample size is 6, we are collecting 1000 samples and we are calculating sample mean of 1000 sample collected. Okay, and we are plotting the distribution of 1000 sample means. So, we are getting a curve of this nature where n denotes the sample size, okay, and x bar denotes the sample mean of each sample. Okay. Now, in the second case, our sample size is 18 and we are again calculating the sample mean of 1000 sample and we are plotting the distribution of sample means. So, our curve would be of this nature. Okay. And in the third case, our sample size is 31 and we are calculating the sample mean of 1000 sample. Okay, and then we are plotting the distribution of 1000 sample means. Okay, so our curve would be of this nature. Now you can see here I have written the three curves of the sampling distribution of sample mean. Now you can very easily see that as we increase our sample size, our sample distribution curve would approximate the shape of normal distribution. Okay, here when n is equal to 6, our curve was quite irregular in nature. Okay, then when we increased our sample size to 18, the curve becomes somewhat regular and somewhat resembling the normal distribution. But when we increase our sample size, that is when the sample size is greater than 30, then we found that the sampling distribution of sample mean approximate the normal distribution curve. So this defines our central limit theorem. What does it state? For the population distribution curve that has mean mu and standard deviation sigma, sampling distribution of the sample mean follows a normal distribution curve with mean mu and standard deviation sigma over root n, irrespective of the shape of population distribution if sample size is sufficiently large. Okay, so this is very important that this theorem applies to each and every shape of the population distribution if our sample size is sufficiently large. Sufficiently large means that n is greater than 30. Okay, that our sample size is greater than 30. Okay, what is the mean of sample distribution curve? The mean would be mu, that is the same as that of population distribution, and the standard deviation would be sigma over root n. So here I have shown you the three curves having the population distribution. This is somewhat uniform in nature. This is another population distribution and this is the another population distribution. Okay, so when our sample size is 5, we have plotted the sampling distribution curve. Okay, so our curve would be this for this population distribution, and this curve for this one population distribution, and this curve for this population distribution. Okay, so when our sample size is greater than 30, then the sampling distribution curve would resemble the curve of normal distribution. Okay, now the mean of sample mean is the same of the population mean, that is mu. Okay, so mean of sample mean is denoted by mu x bar. Okay, now the standard deviation of sample mean is given by sigma over root n, where sigma is the standard deviation of population. Now the z score can be given by the formula x bar minus mu x bar minus mu x bar divided by sigma x bar. So now we would be using our z results in our problem solving. Okay, so let us try to solve an example. Suppose the population mean expenditure per customer at departmental store is $125 and the population standard deviation is $30. If a random sample of 40 customers is taken, what is the probability that the sample mean expenditure is more than $133? Okay, so here we are getting the value of population mean, that is $125, and our population standard deviation is $30. So what is the mean of the sample distribution? The mean would be same as that of the population mean, that is 125, and the standard deviation of sample mean is given by sigma over root n, that is I have replaced sigma by 30 and n by 40 since the sample size is 40. Now here we are calculating the z score. Our x bar, that is the sample mean, is 133. If we insert the corresponding values, we would get z score as 1.69. Okay, so now let us see the z distribution table. What is the probability for the 1.69 value of z score? Here if I start from 1.6, then this would be 1.6, 1.61, 1.62, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so the probability for the 1.69 is 0.9545. Okay, and we already know that the value from the z distribution gives the cumulative probability to the left. Okay, so the probability that x bar is less than 133 would be 0.9545, and the probability that x bar is greater than 133 would be given by subtracting 0.9545 from 1, since the total probability for all the probable ranges of x bar is 1. So it would come out to be 0.045. So there is 4.5% probability that the sample mean expenditure is more than $133. Okay, thank you.